Good evening again. This is Gary Ceres, candidate for the 3rd Congressional District of North Carolina. And today I am going to talk about something that we're all facing, a problem we all have here in the 3rd District. And that problem is population loss. A lot of our counties within the district have either lost population or are losing population rapidly, or are in danger of losing population, or just growing just a little bit. For instance, Craven County, Hyde County, Terrell County, Lenoir County, and Jones County have all lost population in the last 10 years and are all expected to lose additional population in the next 10 to 20 years. And why is this an issue? Because it's going to be a brain drain, and all of our skilled workers are moving out of the rural areas. Our rural areas are declining in population, which means less economic opportunity, less economic growth, less wage increases. So we've got a real problem on our hands. And what can we do to solve this? And one of the things I have looked into that we can do at the federal level is something called the Opportunity Zones Act. Now, the Opportunity Zones Act came about during the 2017 tax reform bill. And what it did was it gave some funds to the states to allow them to create opportunity zones where a certain percentage of your low-income census tracts, actually 25% in each state, would be available to be exempt, completely exempt, and have forgiven all capital gains taxes that were reinvested for economic opportunity to qualifying businesses. And why is this important? Because this will encourage companies to invest in these rural communities that need it so hard, so badly. Our communities here in Eastern North Carolina are struggling, and we do have a higher unemployment rate than the rest of the country. We have per capita income that's less than the rest of the country, and so we need these jobs. We need these opportunity zones. There's a couple of problems, though, with the way it's been implemented here in North Carolina, because the federal government only mandated that 25% of the low-income tracts within each state could be available for this program. But North Carolina chose that they were going to make it more equitable to every county, so that every county had at least some of their county tracts within the program. Well, what that did was they capped 25% of the tracts in each county for the low-income tracts to be available for this program. Now, that sounds great, but when you have an area, say, like Wake County, which has a lot higher income, and you take their 25% lower income tracts and compare them with our 25 lower income tracts here in Eastern North Carolina, you're not comparing equally. You're comparing apples and oranges, because even their 25% lowest income tracts might have more money than 50% of our lower income tracts. So we're not getting the investment we need here in Eastern North Carolina that is needed more desperately than in other areas. So what we need to do is we need to go back to the Opportunity Zones Act, and we need to amend it. We need to amend it to allow states to increase that number maybe to 30%. And we also need to direct the states that no more than 50 to 60% of those tracts can be the poorest tracts in the entire state, so that we're getting opportunities here in Eastern North Carolina where we need them. We cannot continue to drain our population here. It's going to affect your jobs. It's going to affect our businesses. It's going to affect our economic growth. It's going to affect our elderly. It's going to affect our healthcare system, everything. And so we cannot just sit back and do nothing. And as a legislator in Congress, it is my responsibility, it will be my responsibility to make sure that that act gets gets amended so that those funds get to where they need to go, which is to our communities. And if the state of North Carolina is incapable of doing that, or refuses to do that because they want this equity thing throughout counties, then we need to amend it so that that money goes directly to the poorest tracts. And a lot of those are here in eastern North Carolina, and we need that money desperately because it's not a giveaway. We're not asking for a handout. We're simply exempting the capital gains that are reinvested from taxation. So we're actually lowering taxes on businesses that will invest in low income areas and in low and high unemployment areas where we need it most. So I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your vote on April 30th so that we can show Washington that the working class here in the 3rd district matters, that what we need economically can be accomplished, that there are solutions that we can do on the federal level that can help everyday people in this district, and that we don't have to stick to talking points, we don't have to stick to platitudes. These are real solutions. This is something that we can do. I can lobby for this. I can seek that this gets done because this is important to our economic stability. Thank you, and God bless.